on the March thing.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, especially then. Especially
Do you know if he has to?
the fiesta. All right,
Well,
do your
yeah.
disclaimer.
Before we start the meeting, everybody just want to let you know we're recording, and then this will be posted online for our senior advisory board meeting for February 13th, 2025.
All right, 1 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting of the Senior Advisory Board to order. Thank you all for coming. Welcome guests. Any citizens' comments that you have received?
None.
None? Okay, I have not either. We'll move on to our agenda items. C1, consider approval of minutes for the January 16th, 2025 meeting and take appropriate action. Has everyone had a chance to look those over? Any corrections that you see? Any mistakes that we need to correct before we get a motion to approve?
I have a motion to approve.
Okay, motion's been made. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the meetings as reported. All those in favor? All those opposed? No. All right, C2. Receive the Branch Connections first quarter report. Staff will be present to review the Branch Connections quarterly report. A brief summary is included. However, the full report is attached for review. The city's fiscal year runs from October through September. This report includes year-to-date information for October through September. Is that right?
Yep.
Right. Fiscal year 2025, the total cost recovery is 3%. With the facility's closure, we anticipated a negative impact on revenue numbers and cost recovery. Membership renewals and new memberships are the only revenue being received during the facility's closure. Staff will continue offering customer service and programs for members through alternative locations. Part-time staff this quarter took food handler training and AshLink training. Staff always strives to keep members active and engaged and looks forward to the future for members at the Branch Connection. Providing outstanding customer service and quality programs to the community is a priority for the Branch Connection. Our NPS for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2024 was 100. Hey, great. Staff continues to provide quality programs and outstanding service to all guests.
So I'm guessing because we're recording, it's not letting me pull that up because I just had it up and the minute I hit forward, it's not letting me show the graphs up on. So, do you know if they were able to do that last time?
I know I have two computers, one for that.
Does everybody have printouts of the quarter reports? Okay, so we'll just go off of that. So our year-to-date revenue for October, November, December, which is quarter one, was a total of 4,698. This quarter's main revenue components were the last bit of craft fair vendor fees coming in, membership and membership renewals. And then kind of just from here, futuristically, revenue aspects until we get back to our building are predominantly just going to be based off of memberships and membership renewals. For the year to date on the number of scans, the Branch Connections total membership scans for this year's first quarter is a total of 2,803. Also just noted with our memberships, we did not have any disabled veterans using our scholarship program for membership. And then it also, due to the facility closure, reduced number of members and reduced number of programs, membership scans will continue to be impacted and will reflect lower total numbers compared to previous years. Program participation. This category accounts for total number of program participants. For the first quarter, we recorded 3,208 participants in our programs. Program for this quarter shows a decrease and is impacted due to facility renovations. For the first quarter, we provided a total of 119 programs. In August 2024, the branch connection programs were relocated and hosted at the Mansky Library, Venue 1842, Aquatic Center, and the Community Center. This quarter, we also hosted our annual craft fair, Veterans Day, holiday lunches, and our monthly breakfast as our bigger programs, along with our regular recreational program. For our expenses, we had a total of $130,540 in expenses. Those are associated with programs, staffing costs, instructor pay, cleaning supplies, facility repairs, and the Veteran Day celebration. Year-to-date expenditures continue to be monitored. And please note that during the renovation closure of the branch connection, the expenses will continue to exist related to staffing and programs. And then just to reiterate what Deb had read, for our total cost recovery so far for this quarter, we're at 3%. And our NPS, even though it's at 100, the way the software system works is when you go in and you pull up the date ranges, it's going to show you that number. But the way that it's actually happening right now, it's technically in A, because all of our members are coming here. So those Listen 360 survey replies that give you this score, they're being completely collected by the rec center. So while it's being reported here, it's just what the software system is showing. But just to let you know, it's not a true reflection, because while we're using the rec center, those surveys are being taken in and those percentages are being reflected at the rec center because it's the hosting facility.
So are we just letting them keep any below 100?
No, we just take the good ones out.
That's what-
But once we get back to our building, we'll be able to disconnect the membership scans from this building to where it starts pulling back at the TBC, and then they'll start getting those emails. And I think we're gonna do like the rec center did too with the QR code up front.
Yeah.
So we'll start pushing that too, just so we can start getting some real actual numbers that are ours, not wait for a long time to start
And
collecting.
actually did compile those, and I can have Jackie send those to you guys, because they're not good. But it's not a reflection on the staff or the volunteers. It's just, they're in a different building, they're in a different space, and there's a lot of, kind of inconsistencies that are not regular.
Right.
But I do believe that the rec center's total NPS, I think it's at 89. So whether you want to include some of if it's our members with bad survey results and our members with good survey results, collectively with our members and the rec people out of this building, we're at an 89. But that's not specifically pulled apart, so I can say what it is for TBC. Any questions about the quarterly report?
I have a question about the veterans that celebration that comes out of the branch connection budget now.
It always has.
It always has.
Ever since I've been in, it's always been in our budget. Because we're the ones that coordinated, put it on. So that's. So
Any other questions? All right, let's go to C3, review events and activities. This agenda item allows board members to discuss and give feedback on any activities or events attended and review the upcoming calendar. So attached, you will find a copy of the events and activities for the month of February. Have you all been able to read through this? Lots still going on. The trips also, and the recurring weekday activities. Any questions on anything?
I do want to touch base. Tomorrow is our Valentine's Tea Party. And it's something else.
Well, while you're thinking about it, and since we're on this agenda, topic.
I can't do.
This is when we discuss our feedback about programs that we
Yes.
also
Yeah.
attended.
Correct.
And attended cooking club yesterday, which again is growing. We had around 24 people yesterday. And I can't wait till we get back to our facility so we can start cooking again. But in the meantime, having a good time. Welcome all of you to come. Please come and join us. Debbie was there yesterday. And we had a lot of people there.
We had several new people,
Yep.
people that had not been before, and I think they will be coming back, so.
What was the entree?
It was, sweet
Sweet
and
treat.
savory.
Sweet treats and
just doing
savory.
that.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
there was quite a variety of food, a lot of food, all very good.
And attended last Monday's dance. And again, the
Rain.
dances are stable, I should say. I mean, but there were new people there last
There were
Monday. as
several.
well.
Mhm. People.
And again, it's something that people are always wanting to know, when will we be back to our dance floor?
Mhm.
And so, but in the meantime, we're still having people coming and we're having a good time. Deborah, you've come and had a good time. Chris has been there.
Yeah, she'll be back.
So good.
Yeah, she's in Cuba.
Yeah, so we have a real good time. We invite everyone to please come.
I went to the State of the City meeting a couple weeks ago for the City of Farmers Branch, and I just wanted to note that council member Dave Reed gave a glowing recommendation and kudos to the staff at not only the rec center for hosting us and letting us have activities here, but the hard work that Jackie and his staff has just the excellent job they've done moving us from pillar to post and keeping our programming, 119 programs that we've managed to keep up and running. And I just wanted to say that not everybody was at that meeting, probably y'all didn't see it, but I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that the city council is thinking of us and congratulating staff. Job well done. Anybody else? Anybody else do anything fun? All right.
So to add on to, this is go ahead.
I came here from Fort Worth, so I couldn't get the packet. I thought it was on the phone. Who would it have been from? So I can look it up, the packet that we had.
Linda Gaston, Gascon. how do you pronounce it?
Gaucin.
Okay, thank you.
Are you showing up as you did?
What else, Jackie?
No, I was gonna. I'm sorry.
All right. If anything, nothing else to report on that, we're gonna go to C3, which is review of. No, sorry. C4, receive an update from all appointed subcommittees. This agenda item allows the board members to report, discuss, and exchange information regarding any updates from the Spotlight Memorial Century Social Program Series or renovation subcommittees. It was noted in the January meeting, the Veterans Day Subcommittee will have their first meeting in March. Still full truth, still March. Right, anybody have anything to report from?
So for the social program series, I'm sorry, did anybody have anything for Spotlight Memorial or Century?
I don't know.
No. So for the social program series, we're ramping up for the March Viva Fiesta. I know Jennifer's been kind of running the lead on that, but I think we're doing taco bar, DJ, photo booth, cakewalk,
Okay,
and then I know she's brainstorming about some sort of games to play, and I can't remember where she left off. But those are kind of the things that we have kind of lined up for that. And I think we're going to utilize 3 rooms to pull that off in.
oh, well,
So that's what we have for that one. And then I know I'm hoping shortly after we'll start before March, we'll start ramping up for the July one. as well, so that way we know what we're doing there.
Have we confirmed those other dates?
It's March,
No, not the March one, but
no, were you asking for the March one?
What's the date for the March?
14th,
March 14th.
March 14th, Deborah.
Okay.
So the July one
We were gonna try and tie it in with the
after, but it's gonna be after the
the
Independence Day.
so.
But it's, gonna be, you know, red light. And then I think September evening,
Mhm,
because we want one after hours,
mhm.
no definite date yet.
they're on a calendar. I can't regurgitate them off the top of my
Okay.
head. Because we wrote it on calendar. That's a really small calendar.
And just let it,
You'll get back to us on
yeah, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that they have started signing people up. So sign ups have begun
For the March.
for the March.
Yeah. That opened.
Yep, last month.
Um,
And what's is sign up for the Fiesta, the March end?
Viva Fiesta,
to
Viva
attend.
Fiesta, yes.
Okay.
because we gotta make sure we have food.
And how, are we limiting the number on that?
We're not limiting, it's just we gotta find out when, because Bartley's doing the taco bar. So we need to find out when's the last day we can submit for, like, the order for it. So we have to have a head count. So that head count is gonna dictate when the cutoff is. Not necessarily a max, it's a cutoff date for the food.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
so there's really no, so anybody can sign up? Great, perfect, thank you.
The people that come, do they all have to be members of the branch?
They have to be enrolled. They have to be enrolled or have a date. Well, I guess they have to be enrolled.
Yes, they have to be.
How are they putting out the information? Are they signing up online
It's in the,
It's in the program and on the calendar.
on the one?
it's in the March, April brochure,
Newsletter.
the newsletter. It's right on the front page, so it's plenty of good exposure.
Any renovation news?
Yeah, so Veterans Day, I'll send out meeting, we'll set something up for March. Renovation was they're putting millwork up in the offices. So there should be, if you go to our website, there's a link to look at the updates and it takes you to all the projects in Farmers Branch. And you click TBC Phase 2, there's weekly updates that come out and they post pictures. So where they're at now is they're putting the cabinet millwork in the offices. So I took some pictures of that. And then they're working on bringing the internet online. Because then the AV audio installation is next. And then they're still working progressively on it. Oh, well, no, so this is preventing me from showing my screen. Because it's recording,
Oh, it won't let you just,
it's not letting.
oh, okay. Okay, maybe when we're done, we can.
Yeah, well, when I stop recording, I tell you what, when I stop recording, I can pull it up and show you all the website.
Oh, okay, great.
But internet connection coming up, AV audio stuff. We already got the ballroom chairs. They're in a storage container. I think we updated that. And then the backup generator, they are getting the wall up. The generator pad exists. So they're waiting to get the permit completed. And then they're gonna bring the generator over and put it on the pad. So that's like the next, and then once that goes on the pad, they have to do an inspection. And then they're gonna bring power down to the site. And it's supposed to be less than 3 days to connect the backup generator. So in theory, the backup generator should be complete before the end of this month. So hopefully, knock on wood, when we have our meeting in March, the generator will be up and running.
Which means
That part of the project's complete.
Oh.
That
we
part.
can move in.
No, the backup generator is just a collateral component.
And let me just point out that we have been meeting with the contractors and trying to firm up move-in date and things like that. We should be firming that up here really soon. So I'll be able to get that to you all and we'll start putting out the word and kind of our process for reopening will be coming really soon as well. So we weren't quite ready for the meeting today, but probably for sure for the March meeting, but as soon as we know, we'll start at least letting the board know email you kind of.
Has the problem with the ventilation system been rectified or figured
Yeah,
out?
that. back and forth,
Engineered.
Correct. Has been figured out, and so it's not impacting, our open. Time. So it's already been factored in. We got it, we're working on it, trying to firm up that schedule, the final schedule with the contractor, when they're gonna be done and out of there, clean up everything so that we can have time to get moved back in and start. Probably, I will let you guys know what we're gonna look at doing is doing an opening, but it'll be for just getting normal operations, just to get your day to day, just moving out of this building. And so we'll be doing that for a little while, and then we'll have some kind of grand, kind of like the Star Center, some kind of grand, the council and all that stuff. So, but just realize initially, it's just gonna be to open the doors, get you out of here and get us settled, and then we'll look at another day. It won't be that long, but Star Center was open about 3 weeks, a month before they did their grand, so it'll be something like that.
And the ballroom, what's the ballroom? Are they redoing floors in there or they have to do those and
Yeah,
panels on the walls and all that? How does that look?
The panels are not up yet. They're working on the overhead lighting right now. The floor's gonna be the last thing that they redo.
So the funds for the grand opening are funds or your funds?
Robert's funds.
Robert's fund.
I was,
They're incorporated in our funds and we have it set aside specifically for grand opening.
So it's looking good, right?
it's looking good, yes.
Any other questions about subcommittees? All right, let's move on to C5, discuss agenda items for future senior advisory board meetings. Does anybody have anything they would like to see on the,
This is something that, maybe should have brought up on C3, but, I think it's time we start talking about the hot dog Friday Franks. Because we usually start that in May. And so before we put out our next program, we need to make sure we have that.
March, April, because March, April,
Yeah, March, April's already out. So we need to make sure that that's published in May, June. Because that's,
what, can I just add it as a verbiage in the program in advance and not pull it out of an agenda item?
oh, sure, absolutely. I'm just saying, we just need to discuss that now so we can have it in our next program that goes out.
I got you.
Is there opportunity to talk and discuss options for the breakfast? Are we locked into a contract with the entity that does it?
We are not locked into a contract.
We can change that anytime we
We
want.
can, however,
Change the menu, or can you alter a little bit on what you were doing, or is that sort of a set price?
well, the thing is the price. And when it becomes tricky. And, but we can have, I guess, offline, we can have a different conversation. I don't think we have to make an agenda item, but
Just
it's something we can just discuss and kind of, the thing is the price, because
Did we reduce budget for that, like this latest?
no, it's just hard to be $10 a head,
Was the caterer that was doing it,
$10 a head.
for IHOP, she was doing $10.
But she also used her kitchen and
Yeah.
we don't have that option right now. Right. But anywhere you go catering,
again, maybe there'd be more options. when we-
well, catering themselves is $10 a head is very hard to beat. That's the problem. We can talk about in the future, when we're back in our building, trying to find someone, but again, the problem is Chef Leslie was the only one that would do it for $10 a head. Everywhere else was 15, 20. So,
Will that price be going up with the price of eggs going up?
I mean, they haven't,
Are we locked, you're locked in? for-
they're giving us
Oh,
the flat rate right now, I'm from Iowa. But when we get ready to go back in the building, sure, we can talk about and revisit. I don't know if the price of eggs would impact Chef Leslie and her company, but, we could reach out and see if there's any other caterer out there that can match that, but,
And what is the food?
so she would do kind of different things.
Uh,
With IHOP, it's sausage, eggs, bacon, pancakes, fruit, and that's it
Yeah.
every time. With her, sometimes she would do, just
Casserole.
casserole. So it wasn't the same spread,
Yeah,
but the cost was the same.
I think people would understand, given the bird flu stuff and all that,
Sure.
you know, either limited or just like, let's not do eggs for a while. I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing.
We seem to have so much left over. There's volumes of some of the things that we don't even
Right,
get to.
That's true.
So it could reduce the amount.
the order. That's something
Maybe
like,
change it a little bit.
well, I just want to see if they say like you're obligated to order at least 100 if we're gonna get. And that's something off the top of my head, I can't tell you, but I know with Chef Leslie, hers was, it has to be this number. So,
Jackie, you could also look at, with it being the end, you guys coming back to your building, doing Cracker Barrel. I know it's not within the normal top price range,
Sure.
but the like members deserve that little extra treat.
and I'm not saying they don't, but what are they gonna serve different that we're not getting served right now?
Your syrup and a glass. I don't know.
Well, if biscuits and gravy might be something that's different.
I read
Yeah.
a funny thing the other day, they got, the boiler chickens, they're defective by bird flu.
Huh.
So they're substituting instead of a egg and biscuit, they're doing like the little chicken. Chicken biscuit.
nuggets or
So then they're saying, it's still chicken. I don't know if it's
Just
cheaper.
different form,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's cheaper or not.
Okay, so we can check into some of that. Yes, Mary?
We have to go back to cooking it ourselves?
Probably not,
Probably not.
probably not. Because that's different. What we have to have certified, what our kitchen is certified as a full use. There's some sort of liability or responsible where it's easier to have an outsourced person, because when we submit for the food permit, they take that liability versus us buying the
Yeah.
product and us cooking the product.
Yeah.
That's something that I got educated on through the process when we
Can we
changed.
put it out for bids for caterers to contact us? There's some way to do that online?
For $10 an hour.
I have a friend who does catering and he says we're getting a great deal for $10 a person.
Yeah, I mean, like, this isn't like, yeah, when we finding even Chef Leslie and IHOP, these are things that we shopped around where we picked up the phone and we called different entities. And we said, this is what we do, this is our group, this is what we're looking for, give us a quote on what you could do per head. And $10 is the lowest I've ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what we get for $10 from IHOP is great. We're not gonna be able to beat that. And maybe we can look at it later when we get back in our building, but for now, it's the perfect thing for us.
Yeah.
I agree.
I trust you.
All right, no agenda items for,
Debbie, you had mentioned maybe some more educational items last meeting,
And-
the meeting before.
yes, and I've not gotten with Jackie yet, about them to,
Like education seminars,
yeah,
like how,
yeah.
like we used
Seen
to.
this,
No,
yeah.
we used to.
Yeah.
And I don't, I just gotta look at space.
Yeah, let's,
That's.
yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll revisit. That's our top priority.
Yeah.
Just getting into the building.
Don't neglect the history, get educated. I know.
All right, let's move on to C8, receive the senior advisory board and city council update calendar. Below is the calendar for 2025. City council update dates may change and are subject to adjustment.
So our meetings are all set for the second Thursday of every month from here all the way through December. December is the one where we have our lunch and our meetings swapped. But there are two parts in the future that will be added onto the schedule currently. One is that in June, our board will have their sunset review, which the last time we did it was in 2020. And Matt Rice carried the torch for us. So that's gonna come up. That will be added in March. You'll see it on there. And then the other part is confirming our year in review, confirming that date. So that's gonna be November or December for our year in review. So outside of those two additions that will be on here, all of our meetings are the same, second Thursday, 1 o'clock. Locations will obviously change, when the time comes for getting the building, but for now, we're here. And then, December with the inverted lunch and meeting.
So on this calendar, it says the council update is in November, but we don't know that for sure, correct?
And I want to confirm. all
Okay,
that,
all right.
Because we did do it last year in November, but I thought there was
Did
an
it
email
December.
that went out that said November, December.
I think it's gonna stick with that.
In November.
But we'll get-
Because they did send, it said November /December and all.
it's gonna be the same content.
But can you explain to the board what a sunset review is? Please. Or can someone, because I don't. What it is. Really?
Yeah, that was gonna be my next. We do it at sunset.
On the beach.
Somewhere. We go to Gulf of America.
So kind of what the ordinance is 3563, sunset review, certain boards and commissions. It says on June 30th in years ending with a 0 and a 5, the following boards and commissions shall terminate without further action of the city council unless the city council has affirmatively voted that the board or commission shall continue in existence under the next termination, until the next termination date. And then it goes on to say, essentially, city council rates each board based on the board's foundation, structure, and function. Presentation is anticipated by the current chairs of the board on those 3 categories. So essentially what it is, it's a review of the board and kind of what the reality is on what they provide to not just their demographics, but the community as a whole. So it's kind of 2 here. So that's the explanation that I have. The way I look at it, because last time we did it in 20, they merged our biannual and sunset into one presentation. And so it's very similar on the same information that we put out in our year to review. Except for, I think there's a little bit more further detailed questions about those 3 pillars. Does that make sense?
Yeah, justifying your existence, right?
I think council's working on some direction for boards as well, that should be. We'll be getting some, they might be talking about some of that in their strategic planning. I didn't know. So whatever we'll pass that on to you all. I know that's something on the radar.
Okay. Any other questions about anything?
I move, we adjourn.
Okay, motion's been made to adjourn the meeting. Second. Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you all for coming. Like I said, if you want to stay, Jackie's going to try and get us some pictures up, right? Now,
So what?